my bedroom and shit. We'll finally get a nigga leg room and whip. Yeah, cold world, make way for the chosen one. Ain't nobody else I'd rather be, not even Oprah's son. Mama youngest getting paper like the oldest one. We living better, guess God felt the oldest one. Closets barely had no clothes enough. So you throw my niggas in hoopies, bet we still bag hoes enough. These niggas get a heart and soul to them.
What's good? What's good? Give me 1 sec.
Ass fat, so I pinch her like a Doberman. Run up on a politicking like he Foberman. What's your name? Where you from? You got a dream? I sell you one. Come and kick it.
Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good, Jaden? What's good, Jaden? And whoever else is in the stream early. We about to go and peep the Discord before we even get into this breakdown. You know what I'm saying? So if you got any questions, let me actually drop the Discord link. If you got any questions, if you got any film, you know what I'm saying? The Discord is where to go. And also, let me drop this in the chat before we even get started. Got that. Boom. What's good, C? What's good, C? I'm about to peep the Discord because I realized there's a bunch of shit I low-key missed. There's a bunch of shit I haven't peeped. I think it's because like sometimes I'll open up the Discord for like a split second and then all the like little notification tabs at the end of them would be gone because I opened it for a second, so I wouldn't go back and look at it when I actually go and stream. So you was right. The Clippers series can go to Game 7. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of people anticipated a Game 7 when it comes down to this series. It's just that the way as to which it's gonna transpire is the weird part. Meaning, Kawhi not being there is when they play better, right? Instead of like them having Kawhi and it's like, yo, this is calm. Cause I ain't gonna lie, if they had Kawhi and they was rolling, they was going, I don't know if this shit gonna go 7. This shit probably go 6. Honestly, 6, maybe even 5. If they was actually having some steam, actually had some chemistry going in. But we can't play the if game regardless. But they've been winning without Kawhi, which is kind of weird. So I guess they just got to kind of rock with that and just let Kawhi sit until it's like he's completely healthy. And then even if he does come back, don't try to do that shit where, oh, we need to see how Kawhi can get his. Kawhi needs to become the third option at that point. He needs to literally come into the game and be the third option instead of trying to go in there and be the first. Because you just got to find where you could go. Find where you can fit in. Losing a 30-point lead is tragic, though, not going to lie. I mean, they lost the lead, but they won the game. That's all that mattered. You know what I'm saying? When it counted, you know what I'm saying? All the work they did to start the game, all the little things that happened, allowed them to get that dub. All the little things that happened is the key. You know what I'm saying? Like that Luka foul trouble. I'm going to talk about that at the start of the breakdown. Like, all that stuff that happened before then allowed them to cook later to where they could been able to keep that lead and been able to win that game. I was disappointed the Mavs lost. Could have been the greatest comeback. I ain't gonna lie, that Clippers comeback will be better than that one regardless. No cap. The Clippers coming back on Golden State, and the Clippers, it was just Lou Will, Montrezl Harrell, Pat Bev. That you can't beat that one. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. Hold on. I know you hyped about the Magic. Look, understand this. I love to see it. Of course, my favorite team winning playoff games. It's just a matter of, can we win on the road? Can we apply the same game plan? Have the same discipline on the road? But I don't know if it's like the hooper in me kinda to where, or the kind of hooper coach side of me to where I see the game in a way as to which it's always the long game and never like what's going on and just trying to ride the wave and be so happy about what's going on right now. But I always see it as like, okay, I can't really get hyped. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is, but I can't get crazy hyped. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Because I feel like I got it from hooping to where I always think like, all right, shit's still not done. There's still another level to go. And until you reach that ultimate end goal, which is in the NBA, it's a championship, being a championship contender, until something like that happens, then I can't really like get crazy hype off of some wins, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, that's just me. But regardless though, it's like this is growth. You know what I'm saying? And growth is low-key a drug to me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people actually addicted to a drug. My drug is growth. You know what I'm saying? I see progression. It's like, yo, I want to keep getting a little more. Let me get a little more. Let me get a little more. How high of a level could I operate? How much better could I do doing this? How much better could I do in that? Other people, it's a bunch of other shit. But for me, I just want to see that growth continuously. So that's the part that I do like to see about it. Yo, what's good, GM? What's good? Why don't you start the breakdown at the start and answer questions later? Because I feel like sometimes people in here ask the sake of asking questions, or in here ask for the sake of asking questions. The breakdown could create genuine questions. The thing about the breakdown is that I honestly, I'm gonna keep it real. Discontinuing the breakdown and always answering questions in between all the clips breaks my flow, and by breaking the flow, it breaks my ability to make the best breakdown, to where I could connect concepts between the first clip and the 50th clip. You know what I'm saying? Whereas if I do 3 clips and then boom, answer a question. Then I do another 5, answer a question. Another 2, answer a question. Another 2, answer a question. It's gonna break my flow when I'm doing the actual breakdown. So by the time it gets there, I may be like, all right, where was I? What did I say before? You know what I'm saying? Like, it throws off my rhythm. It throws off my flow. And also, this does help me build my flow. So then by the time I get to the breakdown is just smooth. You know what I'm saying? So, but also that too, like I was saying, it helps me get my flow to once I start the breakdown, it's like, okay, I'm getting them. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing them. But I'm going to start the breakdown sooner though. Like I said, how far into the stream were we? 60 minutes in? I'm starting by 30. And that's at a late note. That's a late note. I'm starting by 30, like at the latest. Locked. So I'm going to definitely do that. So peep this though. I'm going to start in the Discord. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be efficient. Y'all can still ask questions in the chat as we go along. But I just got to make sure I get through some of the shit I missed in the stream. Or in the Discord, let me say. Get through some of the shit I missed there. So, by the way, if y'all got any questions, drop it in the chat. But also, if you got film, drop it in the Discord. It's at the top of the chat as well. And if you do want the workouts, if you do want the part 2s to the breakdowns, make sure you join the Patreon, because we're doing part 2s to 1 to 2 streams every week. So make sure you go join there. And then we got the workouts, of course. So let me peep this dude stuff here though. Buddy sent me some stuff in the layup line. This shit was for a while ago, from the 19th. That shit was 10 days ago. But oh, is there anything else, gang? All right, there we go. I don't know why you sent me some layup line clips, man. I don't know why you sent me some layup line clips. And also, send me your turnovers. Send me y'all turnovers. Send me y'all bad passes. Send me y'all the times y'all get rushed and get bailed out. Send me those. Lost that. Hold on. Let me see something. Because you made a good move. You made a good move. I just seen, especially this angle is low-key a tough angle. Hold on. Whoever was recording, this is a tough angle. Because you could literally see, like, it's almost a bird's eye view completely. So, like, you could see the shift and how he went over, boom. And that's the type of shit as to what you got to drill in subconsciously. Meaning that you recognize, once you see someone make this sort of movement, this style of movement, you now get that into your pattern, into your habits when you're making a move. So if you see someone begin to shift over that much, all right, boom, I get into a change of direction. And now if it happens to be a situation where the defender is quick and they do end up beating you to the spot, despite the fact they did jump out the other way, then you'll just play in the flow at that point. You know what I'm saying? But good cross, though. You know what I'm saying? You could literally see the whole gap that you made because he shifted over. And so now you go the other way. And then right there, you probably just looked up and was like, oh, shit, and lost control of the ball. You know what I'm saying? So the second you make this move, it becomes, all right, what is he doing? And then you also got to make sure that these players are spaced out. And then if you want to get a layup, you could have got that layup because he wasn't really fully in front of you. So keep that part at the top though. This is the good stuff that you need to reinforce, right? These are the behaviors you need to reinforce. You need to be able to be like, oh, that was good. All right, I need to make sure I keep doing this. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I see this, right? Most importantly, from the perspective that you are in on the floor, like not seeing this from a bird's eye view, but from when you were actually on the court, you need to remember how that looked like, and then anytime you do see it, you reinforce that behavior. So that visualization of that and reinforcing it is vital. There's another layup line clip. What number is he? Number 10? Oh, he got 32 seconds. All right, so let me make sure what number he was. Number 10, okay. Number 10. All right, so let me go from the start. Let me find where he was on the ball. Here. Why are you leaving? Shit, that's why high school be so chaotic at times. This is be people running all over the place. It's like you guarding one person and you just ran over to another dude. This buddy got butterfingers, man. Buddy got butterfingers. Gang got butterfingers. It seems like every single time you get into traffic, it's like Jaylen Brown type shit with his left hand. When he see traffic, when he see bodies, and he dribbling with that left, the handle start to get a little loose. You know what I'm saying? Like his decision making begin to get a little shaky. You know what I'm saying? So it seems like every single time you get into help, you just lose the ball some way, shape, or form. Whether someone does strip you of the ball, whether you just there and it's like, oh shit, and you try to go too fast and it's like something happened to where you lose the ball. So I don't know what's kind of mentally, you just feel rushed in a situation like that. But that's just the time as to which you got to continuously get reps in, one, but two, also understand what you're looking at to where you don't got to, you know what I'm saying? You don't got to get rushed. You don't got to get out of your pace. So you know what's actually going to be there and what you got to see. So I think you did get stripped right there. But even then, you was going to go up against that. That's a tough go. You know what I'm saying? That's a tough go. You see, that's a lot of bodies in a small vicinity. Let me say that. A lot of bodies in a small vicinity. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. This player pulls in from this corner. You got this over here. You know what I'm saying? You got that over there. But, oh, he said I got the ball, got ripped. I get ripped driving a lot, not going to lie. Get more for him over the weekend. I'm going for India on Saturday and Sunday at 5 games. I feel like I'm improved over both practices, so more scoring, passing, etc. I would say the jump shot breakdown. I always tell y'all this. I can't break it down a jump shot for real unless y'all send me a bunch of clips of y'all actually shooting, right? And you send me a make. At this point, all I've ever seen you do is make. I've only seen you go 1 for 1. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if you're actually missing shots, send me the misses so I can understand why it is broke. You know what I'm saying? Or what part of it is broke. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really tell you to fix anything if I've only seen you produce a good result. I can't. He sent anything? Nope, no comments. Just film. I don't even know who I'm supposed to be watching. I'm just watching. And this is very much high school basketball. But he got blocked. Float. God damn. High school basketball would be so chaotic, bro. I be forgetting how just like, bro, you should have told me who to look at, gang. I don't know who sent this, but I don't know who to look at. I've seen like 5 different people with the ball. Both sides of the floor. I don't know what's going on. Is this the same person? Oh, same person, same dude, number 10. Number 10, just different jerseys. Number 10, but different jerseys, okay. He said he sent more film, so he literally sent more film. Bounce pass right there, okay. Okay, I got him. Back here in transition. Bro, I'm going to turn this up a little bit. Most of the stuff I can't even see nothing for real. I can't even see much of this for real. Honestly, just send your possessions. Just send literally like if you're gonna send film, send a possession of where you're actually doing something, and so I'm not just watching a bunch of people hoop, because high school basketball just gets, it's like dog, this shit just gets ugly and chaotic. Guard the ball one time, ended up switching right there. Boom. There's like nothing for me to break down. You know what I'm saying? There's not really shit for me to break down over here. Ain't really shit for me to break down. It's just like y'all just out here hooping, playing pickup, damn near. Y'all out here playing pickup. There's not really shit I can see. If you throw a turnover, if you know you're just doing some bad shit or whatever's going on mentally, to where even if it could be a situation like this where you know that you're not being as aggressive as you need to, and there's something that's what you feel you're not doing, there's more you could do, and you feel there's something holding you back, you need to get over that leap. Sometimes you don't even need to send the film in. It may just be a mental hurdle you have to get through. And I can't understand the mental unless you write it out. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way as to which you could communicate that. Can't really see it through the film. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit you could just write off as being, oh, he's not being aggressive, but why? You know what I'm saying? Why is that happening? Are you actually not good? Or do you have the skill, but you don't want to tap into it when you get into a game because you feel like you get in other people's way? Some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Another 50-second clip right here. It's even tough for me to say somebody did something wrong because the spacing is so bad that there's like no responsibilities at certain times, right? So like a situation like this, like what are the responsibilities supposed to be? Like you may be guarding Buddy up here, but it's like, yo, are you actually doing the wrong thing? You know what I'm saying? Skim through that there. Like they ain't shit I could break down when it comes down to this. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all just literally ain't doing much. All right, you actually got to play. You got a possession down here at the end. Another cross. All right, now boom. There's 2 plays you sent me where you utilized the cross and it worked. Now what does that tell you about the crossover for you in your game? This shit low-key works for me. I have a good feel for when I should use a cross. Now it boils down to what am I going to do after the cross, right? Because this one, you got fouled. Yep, this time you got fouled. Last time you drove, you saw help, and then you panicked a little bit. Now this time you drove off a cross from looking towards a corner like you're gonna pass the ball or some shit, or you're gonna get into a handoff. Boom, cross. And now what do you end up having? This entire gap going this way, right? This whole gap. So that's something as to which you gotta reinforce, like I said, and understand. Oh, this is maybe my feel for the game. What type of players do utilize a cross? What players can I learn a crossover from? How could I layer the cross? Meaning not just in terms of excess dribble moves after that move for counters and whatnot, but what type of moves can I get into? Should I get into a float? Do I like my dribble pull up? Do I like a little step back or something like that? If I have enough space, that's where you got to be getting to figure out another move that's according to your feel. So AI, I'll say be really careful with AI because the crossovers that he's using here are usually more so based off a skip, and AI use a hang crossover. You know what I'm saying? And also AI's game is very direct, and a lot of people don't realize that. Like he's getting straight to his shit. Like, and that's why I've been watching the shit to the AI whenever I do get the chance to just watch film for myself, because it's just catch. Do I got triple threat? Reading the help. Boom. Then I get into my next layers. Like he's just so quick getting to the next thing. What's the highest I played? I got to my freshman year. I got to an NAIA, which is like a D2. Then I left. I probably wouldn't. I would have ended up getting higher, but it was just like I don't want to coach. You know what I'm saying? So, but boom, he sent that one there. And so, the biggest takeaways just from these 4 clips or so: the crossover, 1, 2, the pickup. Are you panicking? Do you not have ball pickups? I'm gonna talk about ball pickups in the breakdown, but yeah, are you panicking? What's kind of going on when it comes down to that? Figuring out what pickups you do like and utilizing that, and seeing how you could layer that crossover. The game was heat. Yeah, that game was tough. Check the form shooting channel. The form. I don't got a form shooting channel, but the jump shot channel, I can check that in a second. Number 5 black team did let me crop, but here. I don't know who number 5 on the black team. Okay. Number 5. So whoever's sending this is number 5 on the black team. Where's number 5 on the black team? Number 5. Where's number 5? I can't see. I don't know who I'm looking at. I got a question. Drop the question, Flexi. Drop the question, Flexi. All right, here. Grinches. That's Buddy and the Grinches. Buddy, dumb young. Lays. You know what I'm saying? This is the benefit of playing at a younger age. You all know why? Because you're playing and you're not thinking. And so a lot of the skills that you'll pick up on, like shit like this will become natural by the time you may be 17, 16, you know what I'm saying? Graduating high school. And you don't need to put much context behind it except for, oh, this is just what I just felt the move and I just did what I needed to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's a benefit to the game. You know what I'm saying? It's a good thing to have because you're not trying to sit there and play the game with a bunch of thought. And so that's a couple things that a lot of people miss out on, especially when you start late. And so that's for me. Since I started late, I didn't really have the ability to just, all right, black out and just do something that's which I know, because I was just like, yo, what the fuck is going on? And I had the ability to really think about the shit I was doing. So what's good, Rel? What's good? But yeah, anytime in situations like this, you gotta almost trust your instinct and just kind of read, help, find space, and it'll almost be a flow. Like you're just gonna do what you do. You know what I'm saying? What age is late? I mean, I would say for me, late, in comparison to competition, probably like 12, 13 maybe, depends. You know what I'm saying? For me, I started my 8th grade year, which is when I was turning, 14, 15, 16. I was about 13. So, and that's when I played my first organized game, by the way. My first organized game. So, I'll even say on a possession like this. First thing I'll even say as a whole. And bro, 12, 13 is late. You don't realize a lot of people be starting hooping when they like 9, 10. And now, like I said, you're going to begin to play the game subconsciously. You're not going to be thinking about the shit that you're doing. You're just going to be hooping, just be in a flow. So, I'll say in situations like this too, talk. Probably did talk a little bit, but then talk to what extent? You know what I'm saying? Are we switching? Right? You're probably going to switch at everything at this level, honestly. So, screen's coming this way, switch. You know what I'm saying? So, if the screen actually does get used, I'm pretty sure no one is talking at this level as well. So, if you could just literally say a few words and then tell your teammates also what it means, it's going to go a long way. Like, you're already a step ahead of your competition. Because at this age, the only people talking are the parents in the crowd and the coach on the sideline. That's the only people talking. And this is just something also you recognize. Playing too high. Someone being over aggressive. And that's where a lot of people do fuck up. Because they're like, I'm supposed to pass. And they try to force that pass. But in reality, you should use that against your defender. Boom. Get into the lane. And now you just find your spots. That's a good lay too. I was 9 when I started. Exactly. How do people start so young but be so ass? They never learn. Long story short, they never learn. You could do some shit for a long ass time, but doesn't mean you learn from it, especially from your mistakes. Buddy about to send this highlight reel in. Hit a corner 3. Maybe slow this, so I can slow this down. No, I'm saying a little right lateral step in from the corner. Little corner shot. You see, now there ain't shit I can really break down. This is all stuff you got to watch and reinforce. I don't really got to say shit about it. You just literally got to keep doing what you even see yourself doing. You know what I'm saying? There ain't much I could break down to just a bunch of highlights. You know what I'm saying? If this is what allows you to flow, allows you to do your thing, reinforce the good things. Understand what's happening when you took a shot. Understand your routine. Also, most importantly, understand where you're uncomfortable. So then that's what's going to show you your weaknesses. And then that's how you get better. But if I just see a bunch of highlights, it's tough for me to be able to see, how you can get better. And that's what I always try to seek. I always seek how can someone get better. Can't really find it in here. Can't really find it. Let me see what else is in here too. One day I'll send you a mixtape and you're gonna think it's TJ McConnell. Buddy out here hustling. Talking about something you don't think it's TJ McConnell. Talking about it's TJ McConnell. That's wild as fuck. Wild as fuck. Just said TJ McConnell, bro. Gonna be in that motherfucker running along the baseline in circles and shit. If I think of TJ McConnell's play style, I think of him going baseline and literally circling back and then going baseline again and circling back again. You shooting too far. I already knew from where you started, gang. You shooting too far. You shooting way too far, man. You shouldn't be airballing shots short, bro. If you're in your workouts airballing shots short, you should not be shooting from that far. Like, that's just unacceptable. Shorts, airballing a shot. I don't remember the last time I airballed a shot short. No cap, bro. Like, that's kind of like, it just shows you literally just don't have enough to get the ball there. If I do shoot from, if I do airball a shot short, I probably shot beyond half court. Come on, man. Low release point. The low release point is a byproduct of him not having enough strength to shoot from where he's shooting from. You'll see Steph go and shoot from further out, and his release point will drop. You'll see Dame shoot from further out, release point will drop. So you could be able to push the ball out more so than shooting it and finishing high and getting a good arc, right? And so when it comes down to this, it just shows you're shooting from too far. You need to get in closer so you could establish a good form. You could have a actual gooseneck, you know what I'm saying? Finish high, hand in the cookie jar type of release. But now if you're going to shoot from this range every time, and most importantly, that's the second time. You ain't starting in the base either. I'd be talking about a base all the time. Now just questions like, do y'all listen? Are y'all listening to what I'm saying and seeing the commonalities between all the players that you do watch and how they're actually able to get their shot off and actually try it, right? Have you actually tried to go and shoot starting in a base? Meaning, instead of starting vertical and dipping into a shot, you actually load your whole base and you even get into a base on the dip. It's just like it's like Caitlin Clark kinda, but that's a physiological thing, a physiological difference usually I caught between men's basketball and women's. But if you just start in a base, it's gonna make your shot way easier. I'm trying to tell you. So if anything, I'm not even gonna watch any more. If you did send more clips, start shooting in closer, so then I can actually see how your shot looks like when you are shooting at a range to where you can actually get the ball to the rim. All right, you see, that's where he fucked up. He said, rate my form, but I can't even see the rim, gang. I can't even see the rim. But I would say this. Look, I'll say this. I can't see the rim, so I can't know the result, and I don't know what's going on over here, whether it's going left or to the right. But what I can tell you, though, is that the follow-through one in the base two. The follow-through one in the base two. Because you're letting it go, and you're dropping off immediately. Now, the reason as to which you could see players in the NBA shoot and release and then let you see the arms drop is because they've already done everything they need to put the ball where they want to get it to. So they're going to finish and snap it high, and at the point as to which the hands drop, the ball is already going to where exactly they finished with it. But a lot of times people will end up dropping their shot and don't have the timeliness to where they do drop their arms on the shot. So ultimately, especially with this being arranged to where you're shooting flat and then going down like that, you're not really in control of the whole movement. You need to make sure you finish high so you can get a good arc, and having a better arc just gives you more of a chance of the ball going in. You don't need to have some crazy arc on your shot, but you need to have some sort of arc. Really making it seem important? Because it is important. It is important. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the most important things there is, which is why I'll keep saying it. And then even when people don't make the adjustments, I got to keep saying it again. Sometimes y'all got to hear some shit 15 times just for the shit to actually sit ingrained with you consciously. You know what I'm saying? For you to be diligent when it comes down to that action. But yeah, like I was saying before too, though. Like I was saying before, similar concept when it comes down to here. You shooting from here, I don't know how you're missing it. I don't even know how the whole form looks. But start in the base and you'll probably get a better arc. Start here. Start here. Hold on. Let me go back to that. Fuck, I messed up. But let me go back to where it was. Where is it? This shot right here. There. But get on your toes, though. Get on your toes. You need to get on your toes. Start here, beating hips being loaded, knees being loaded, but now get here and be on your toes when you do catch the ball. So, shot. Stick to release. All right, that's you. All right, bet. I be trying to tell y'all with the base. He sent this video twice. He sent a second video. Same shit I told you before. Both of y'all need to start in the base. That's all we're doing right now. Both of y'all need to start in the base. Both of y'all need to start in the base. Both of y'all need to start in the base. Because you starting up high, you got dip. Y'all go start in the base. I'm trying to tell y'all. It's vital. Is it free? I mean, in the Discord it is. And sometimes I may not even peep some stuff in the Discord. But on the Patreon, I respond to it like throughout the day. So like, for example, Yogith, if he sends me a jump shot in 2 hours when I'm off stream, I'll respond to his jump shot like as soon as I can immediately after that. And then I'll actually communicate back and forth constantly. So the Discord, I'll peep every now and then. I got training Wednesday. I want to try and film and make these changes. Base. I'll tell y'all both base. Start in your base. And whatchamacallit. Start in your base. Follow through. Base. Follow through. Finish high. Finish high on the follow through. Start in your base. Those two things. Those two things right there. Those two things. And if you say you got training, there's no way you could get to a court between now and Wednesday. Because if you're only working out 2-3 times a week, to make these adjustments is going to take thousands and thousands and thousands of reps. I hope you know that. Hope all y'all know that. These adjustments don't come from a single workout. It comes from the accumulation of workouts. And accumulation of workouts where you're disciplined. So you need to make sure you're finding some sort of court or able to do some sort of skill if you can't get to a court in the meantime. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be the most important thing. One of the most important things right there. Should I join a team that... Hold on. Flax, you asked me a question before. Okay, you asked the same question again. Because I remember you said, oh, I got a question. So I was like, all right, let me peep it. But he said, should I stay on a team that's local to me, but we lose a lot and barely train? Or should I move to a team nearly an hour away, but train way more and are top of my league right now? So I would say the team that's going to allow you to get... That's going to force you to get better. And that seems like it's going to be the second team. If you do have the ability to get there and it's an hour away, I'll do it. I'll do it, honestly. So, and if you're playing with a team that's you lose a lot, you barely train, this just sounds like a bunch of negatives. Not no winning basketball, not no competition in practice, not no training so you get better on your own. It seems like it's just not allowing you to get better. And the only thing about the other team is it's an hour away. So if you could manage that, I'll say go ahead and do that. What if I don't have that kind of time? Do I just leave it until I have more? What you mean leave it until you have more? That type of time as in like to work out? Because working out just boils down to priorities. I hope all y'all know that. All boils down to priorities. All boils down to priorities. So y'all gotta understand that. That's the most important part. And we need to get into this breakdown because I said 30 minutes in we need to get started. So fuck it. I gotta get this going. Let me pull this other stuff up. We got some gems in this game, by the way. I told y'all even in that first breakdown we did of game one. That first game one breakdown. This shit was just about to be. This shit really about to be an ISO series. You know what I'm saying? Everything about to be ISO 1-on-1. You on the island. That's what the shit really turned out to be. You love to see it low key because there's so many skills that are displayed. So I prioritize schoolwork and I don't want to use any of that. Have y'all ever thought about? Have y'all ever heard of the word both? Have y'all heard of the word both? Meaning I could do schoolwork and I could work out. If I'm efficient in my schoolwork and I'm efficient in my workout. Have y'all ever thought of both instead of one or the other? Because the second you begin to think both, you begin to also think abundantly. Once you begin to think abundantly, you'll realize there's no limit to what you could do. There's no limit, right? And I'll tell y'all this too. I'm in college, right? I'll literally spend about 3-4 hours a week on schoolwork. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it a bean to y'all. I don't even know if I'm gonna keep going. I don't even know if I'm gonna keep going to school because I just realized, do I even need this shit? But that's a story for a different day. I may tell y'all when what I'm doing is finalized. But as a whole, I'm like, if I was just super efficient in my work and what I needed to know and what I needed to study, that I had so much goddamn time to actually go and hoop and go work out and go do all this other stuff to be able to, at this point, stream 3 times a week. Also watch a game that took me 4 hours. Then go edit my own videos. Then go edit my own clips. All my thumbnails. All this other stuff. Post on every platform. Had all this time while still being a full-time student in school. Even when I was in high school, I took all the classes I needed to take. Probably was taking like 4 classes, dual enrolled, took college classes while in high school, and yet I was still able to work out 3 times a day. How? I began to think both. Hey Jay, appreciate that sub. And so the second you begin to think I can do both, you'll literally force your way into figuring out how you could be able to attain the desired goal while still doing all the things you need to do, right? And that's the key, because if you decide to say, I only got to do my schoolwork and I can't focus on basketball, you're going to put yourself in a position to where you're not going to be able to accomplish any goal that you have in mind, because you will not be able to partake in that action because you're investing so much time and wasting a lot of time that could be way more efficient to then divert that into your goals. So you got to begin to think both. How can you do both? Now I got to get more efficient in my schoolwork. When it comes down to taking tests, I'm not going to try to memorize everything. Instead of trying to go the memorize review approach to school, I'm going to go the retrieval route, right? Retrieval is one of the best ways to study, meaning that anything as to which you're learning, instead of trying to sit here and flip through the notes and be like, yeah, I remember that. You close your notebook, you close the textbook, and you decide to say, let me recall everything I just learned and try to write it down, write out whatever concepts I know. Right? You're forcing yourself mentally to have those concepts in mind. So by the time comes a test and they ask you a question, and this question is connected to a bunch of concepts, you can now connect all these concepts all together like it's a map. So now I don't even need to study all the X, Y's, and Z's because I know the concept and I know how to apply it in any question they ask. So low-key, long bit of an answer, but all y'all need to know that, bro. All y'all need to know that. Go take Darvin Ham's spot. Bro, I tried to tell y'all last stream, bro. I'm going to start getting my LinkedIn profile ready and shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to get a cool little suit pic, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to get a cool picture of me in my cover photo, me coaching some like random ass AAU team or some shit like that. Get a little resume, post it, you know what I'm saying? Put all this stuff up, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to try to submit my resume in, bro. Fuck it. You got time to do anything. You gotta sacrifice something. Exactly. I tried both for a while and it was too much for me. Seems like you're not as efficient as you need to be. Seems like you're not as efficient as you need to be. I'm trying to tell you, you need to learn how to learn. And I'm going to drop a video in the Patreon that may help y'all a shit ton when it comes down to understanding the concept of learning. So, all the school kids just need to sleep earlier and work out in the morning, and then an hour in the afternoon, and now you got some time to do schoolwork. I don't even think you realize this. Even when I was in high school, I was having like 17-hour days. You know what I'm saying? Meaning I'm sleeping for 7, and in the 17 hours that I'm up, I'm actually being efficient. I don't even think y'all even understand how much fluff there is within your day. What is your screen time looking like? How much are you watching YouTube, right? And not just watching something like me, because now you're getting information that's valuable and actually helping you to learn. But watching all this other entertainment that's not allowing you to grow, right? How much time do you spend scrolling through Instagram, scrolling through TikTok, watching a bullshit YouTube video? How much time do you spend doing that? And then even if it surmounts to 1 to 2 hours, and in reality it's probably about 3 to 4 for most of y'all, even if it's 1 to 2, you could have got a workout in that 1 to 2 hours that you decided to spend on your phone scrolling, right? You understand that 1 to 2 hours you could have got a workout in. And then if it's 3 to 4, you could have got a workout in and did some homework. But you end up spending that time using your phone for bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You just got to start getting efficient. You got to look at the shit that you're doing that's not allowing you to get to where you want to go. You know what I'm saying? It requires that self-reflection. What do you think about walk-ons and uni basketball? You know the funny thing about that? I was just talking about that shit yesterday with one of my homies. I was like, one of the things that does make me want to low-key stay in school for like a couple more semesters is so I could go to UCF, try out for a walk-on, and then be like, yeah, I don't want to hoop. I just want to test myself and see how this shit going, see how this shit working. You know what I'm saying? Just to test the waters. But I probably won't do that shit no more. But walk-ons definitely, that's betting on yourself. If you do want to use basketball for yourself going forward in the future, I had opportunities to walk on at like a few schools and like some D1 schools in Florida because I had great academics and I did have skill. So I had the option of walking on at a couple schools or going to a school to where I had the opportunity to play. And so I was like, nah, let me go here so I could play, then be able to get myself to a school where I'm on scholarship, all this stuff, and I could be able to actually do what I need to. So, and actually display what I could do. Best basketball YouTuber, what's good? Yo, what's good? What's good? 1v1 Cash Nasty. Bro, if I play Cash 1-on-1, I don't think he'll score. American mindset. True, it is fast, bro. No cap, though. I don't know if Cash will score, bro. I don't keep it a bean. I don't know if I'd miss. If we play 1s and 2s to 11, bro, I don't know if I'll miss. I'll just triple threat pull. You know what I'm saying? I kid you not. The layers of my game in 1-on-1 just go from triple threat pull from the top, and it's going to be hard as shit for you to stop it because sometimes I'll go right pocket, left pocket, right low pocket, right low pocket, left high pocket, right high pocket, jab, split stance pocket, left pocket. Like, there's so much shit. Bro, Cash hoops like once every 2 months, bro. Come on, man. Lock in. You gotta lock in. I probably got more reps in my senior year of basketball, like in that 1 year tenure, than he probably got in his whole life. You ever get a scholarship? I did. I told you before. I was there for about 3 months, and I was gone. I was there for I was practicing for 3 months, and I was gone. So, but let me get this posted up. We need to lock in. Let me get this posted. I just had to say what I need to say when it came down to that. Had to say what I needed to say, man. Let me get this here. Boom, get that there. Get this there. Let me find a plate. Let me find a bucket right quick. Let me find a buck. Let me find. There we go. There you got this. Boom. Give me 1 second. Got that. Got that. Let's go here. Let's get that. Get that. Get that. Get that. Get that. And then get that right there. Locked in. Locked in. Cash is strong. Last time I checked, being strong can't stop a jump shot from going from my hands and then going into the rim. Last time I checked. Thoughts on Coleman Ayers from By Any Means Basketball? As a coach, I fuck with his content. I fuck with the stuff he do. I used to watch his shit all the time. I follow him on Instagram too. He followed me back. He was one of the first people, basketball coaches to follow my page. Like when I started, he had followed me when he was when I was at 25K or some shit like that. And that was maybe a year ago, maybe, or I don't even know. It was a little bit ago. It was probably last May or some shit. But yeah, the Draymond treatment. Come on, man. The thing is, it's I can shoot. Yeah, boom, I can shoot. But I don't even think y'all realize, what do y'all see me do most of the time? I always tell y'all, my main thing is shooting, bro. And my jumping, my speed, that shit is I don't even realize how much of a factor that shit really is. But you try to press on my shot, go by, I'm finishing at the rim. So it's just you know what I'm saying? It's just another layer. Let's get started though. Let's get started. Pat plays like D-Lo. Nah, I'll say I would say honestly, if in a 5-on-5 setting, I would say I'm a mix of like a Clay. I would say Clay first, and then maybe like a Kyrie Darius Garland second. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. It's like second in my second layer. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I always envision my game being something like. You know? So especially when he put the hair like D-Lo. You said, how do you not get muscle mass but get strong? It's functional strength, essentially. Not get muscle mass but get strong. I mean, I'm a $170, but I'll be playing against people who are probably like 180, 190, and I'm able to at least stand my ground. It's because I don't have a bunch of excess weight. One, and have weight in the right spots too. He be getting mad for you shooting middies. Hey, if you making them bitches, don't get mad. Hey, K-Rock, you said new sub. I hope the channel blow up. It will. Indeed, it will. In due time. In due time. Raymond, appreciate that sub. And Sasha, appreciate that sub as well. They both came in at the same time. But what else? I miss anything else? You said, bro, Park Takeover. I've been really thinking about starting hooping, bro, but I don't want to rush it, dog. I don't want to rush it. It has to be the right time. I'm a man of time. You know what I'm saying? I'm patient. Whenever it's the right time, I'm going to do it whenever it's the right time. And I don't know when it's the right time, though. Sorry, someone who don't think he play like Shea. Yo, that shit is hilarious. Everybody be like, yo, I think I play like Shea. I got Shea's game in my game a little bit. What do people mean when they say they weigh a buck? A buck meaning like 100? Like a buck 50? You know what I'm saying? Like 150? How do you want to get, let me see, this is low-key blocked out. What can I do to get good enough to play at school team? Well, what are you naturally good at? Right? What's one thing, what's one thing you can say you're better at than most things naturally? And then run off with that. Run off with that shit. I'll tell you to do that. Run off with that shit. Like, take off with it. You know what I'm saying? Go work on this shit every day. And then you'll get yourself to a point where you need to add another layer. A lot of people begin to add layers before you even need that next layer. Let me drop this gem before we even get started with this breakdown, right? I talked about this a little bit last stream, but now it's just making more and more sense. When you have something you're naturally good at, until you get yourself to the point where defenses decide to take away what you're really good at every time and stay disciplined to that, you need to continuously work on it. And even then, you got to keep working on it past the time as to which they do take it away, right? But unless you're at that point, you shouldn't really be working on layers and counters, because those counters are because they're taking away one thing that you already got, right? And so you got to get so good that you're now forced to then get that next layer, because if you don't, you'll get locked up every time. They'll be clamping you every time. And so that's how good you got to get at a skill. I got good enough at shooting to a point where I had to expand upon how I could be able to get my shot off. Or someone like Steph, right? Take Steph, for example. Let's use an actual NBA player, one of the GOATs, right? He when he was playing, when he was younger, he was already so good at fucking shooting that now, being at his size, all right, I got to really learn how to not just be a point guard, but be a really good ball handler, and then get good at finishing, right? But that came after I got really good at shooting, right? I spent all this time into understanding a skill that I'm already naturally inclined to, right? That's I already have a good feel for naturally, and then I get even better and better and better at it, and then I add these other layers once I get really good at my natural skill, my superpower as a hooper. So y'all got to understand that. How to be consistent in games. Consistency boils down to your mentality. Let me tell you this, you will never be consistent. Fuck it. You'll never be consistent in basketball if you allow the results of your game to impact how you think of the game and how you approach the game. Because the game is naturally going to come with dubs. It's going to come with L's. It's going to come with games where you go 10 for 10. It's going to come with games where you go 0 for 10. But now it boils down to, how do you perceive this 10 for 10 and 0 for 10? Do you get really high off this 10 for 10? And do you get really low off this 0 for 10? Because if that's the case, your game's going to be just like that. Game's going to be like this all the time. And mind you, if you have a bad game, it's going to keep going lower. It's going to keep getting lower and lower and lower. And then you're going to have a couple good games if only if you leave those games in the past and once you break out of that mentality of allowing the results to impact you. But if you keep yourself just neutral the whole time, understand I'm going to have the 10 for 10s, I'm going to have the 0 for 10s, but I'm going to stay here in between. I'm just going to keep cruising along, and you're going to be able to see all the good and the bad within the 10 for 10 and within the 0 for 10. So a lot of y'all's games are impacted because the result of your game is how you carry that over into your next game. So that's a gem. That's a gem right there. Leo, I just read you got the goddamn Nuggets winning. You're a troll. Literally a troll. Let me drop this in the Discord breakdown starting. Breakdown starting now. All right, we about to lock in. But let me get through. I'm gonna get through the rest of the chat. Then we gonna get busy. We're gonna get busy when it comes to this game. All right, boom. Timberwolves Nuggets. I ain't gonna lie. I want to see a Timberwolves win, bro. I want to see a Timberwolves win that joint. And the fact the Suns got swept, my bracket already fucked up. My bracket fucked up, just like y'all bracket was fucked up too. Ain't nobody think they was gonna get swept. Swept? Come on, man. What if I think I'm naturally good at impacting other players to score? Should I get good at moving with the ball more than? So you're saying if I'm you're naturally good at playmaking, and playmaking means you're not just passing the ball to people where you're just throwing the ball in the offense. That means you're getting yourself in spots to where you have gravity and you're able to place the ball into the hands of the players as to which is on your team at the right time so they can be able to do their thing. It's not just, I'm here, pass. And then he ends up scoring just because I initiate the pass for this play. You also got to get good at, look at Rondo. The reason Rondo got so many assists is because his little quick ass got into the lane, boom, drop off dime, kicked it off to someone else because he now pulled the defense in. He had gravity, right? The reason why Steph is also really good, he has gravity. That's why also as a byproduct of his game, he's also a good playmaker, right? You even look at a Steve Nash, a Jason Kidd, really one of those primary passers, even a Bron, right? They get themselves in positions to where they get gravity. They create disadvantages, and now they take advantage of that by now being able to put the ball in the hands of the right person at the right time. So, and oftentimes it just be a hockey assist. Kick, swing, shot. They don't get nothing for it. So it'd be things like that too as well. Let me see. Defense hasn't taken away my speed. If they ain't take it away, keep running away with it, man. And the second that Twitch is like, yo, these people getting quick. Like you play at a higher level, like, yo, they getting quick. Pace. Pace. You know what I'm saying? You may as well prepare yourself for that now. Just like kind of getting that in your workouts in a little bit more and getting used to going from slow to fast if you don't already do that now. So that's the thing. You could even just peep now, and it's going to work at the level you're in now and work at the level you're going to play in next. So appreciate the advice. No problem. Who you got for MVP? Shea, but they going to give it to Jokic because they be dick riding. Mine was it? What you mean mine was it? Or plainless. He said, is it better to score many points on bad efficiency or score few points on high efficiency? Why can't you score many points on high efficiency? Why can't you do both? I don't think you're here when I was talking about both. Why can't you do both? Why can't you get high points on high efficiency? I don't want to think in this or that. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to think in those scenarios, dog. We getting both around here. We getting both. I had the Suns at 6. I had the Suns winning that shit too, bro. It's GG's, though. Do you think my Mavs will have what it takes to win it all? They haven't beat the Clippers without Kawhi, so it's looking kind of tough. What's the difference between speed and pace? Speed is like how fast you're actually going. Pace is the utilization of going slow and going fast. So like it's all the in-betweens, all the different speeds. And like mixing it all together. Stop the yapping. I'm about to stop the yapping. I'm about to start the stream, or about to start the breakdown. Last question right here. How do I get gravity if I'm a flat earther? That's exactly where I start. All right, we locked in. That's exactly where I start this breakdown, bro. Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's just GG's, man. We locked in. Let me get some water. We locked in. Here we go. First play. First thing I do want to talk about before you really get into the concept of this breakdown is what PG did on the first play. I just had to show you all this closeout, right? I just want you to really pay attention. So notice, Notice this here. Notice this here with Luka, right? So Luka's got Terrence Mann on him, right? And watch PG on his weak side and help. Luka throws this pass. Watch what PG's gonna read. Since PJ Washington catches in a split stance where his foot is inside that 3-point line, he's not gonna try to shoot. So I'm not even gonna close out to his body. I'm gonna close out with this gap here, and I'm gonna beat him to the spot. And now they have nothing to be able to do at the end of this shot clock, and we get that turnover. You know what I'm saying? You got to read closeouts. If you're not out here reading closeouts, you're going to be running aimlessly. And you're going to be doing shit that switch is even pointless. You know what I'm saying? You're going to close out to a player's body and you not read their closeout. Oh, shit, I should have known they was going to drive. They get into a lane, they get a float, and they get a bucket instead of y'all getting a stop. You know what I'm saying? It's vital. And I accidentally restarted it. But next play, though. Next play. And now this is where the Lucas shit starts, though. You know, this is really, this shit sets him up terribly, bro. And it's like, shit, like you gonna these like take fouls, these bullshit fouls. You know what I'm saying? These bullshit fouls. So literally a minute 20 into the game, Luka decides to get lazy, get conservative, pick up that first one. All right, I'll take that one on the chin. But little do you even realize, right? Little do you even realize, since you're the elephant on the team, they're gonna continue to go back to you. And so picking up that one bullshit foul is going to hurt you so much later on, because now you get yourself in a situation where you got one, you're guarding PG, one of the Twitch masters of the league, and now what ends up occurring? Boom, stop, change direction, second foul right there, a little over 2 minutes into the game, and that is what's going to allow the Clippers to be able to close out the game later on, because the lack of effort defensively to start the game and putting him into foul trouble, which puts him as the ultimate elephant. Who's Luka underrated? Luka's not. I don't think Luka's underrated. Braun's out here stomping like a kid. Bro, you're always bugging. All right, this is literally where I just stop and I literally get into the concept of this breakdown. So you see the title. We talking about isolation scoring, but a lot of y'all got to understand. If you want to be able to play a one-on-one in a 5-on-5 setting, the one thing you always got to understand every single time you go down the floor is space. But not just any space. What type of space do you need, right? So watch Luka on this first play, right? Watch Luka. He now gets his matchup. James Harden. Look, he waves to that right side. Now watch what happens. Kyrie goes to his right side. And now shakes his hand up. Give me a ball screen. And now James Harden turns his head to the left, turns his head to the right. PG now loads up because he needs help. He can't guard Luka on this island. But actually, in reality, I need none of that. Because since I put Kyrie in this right corner, I can now end up going to this right side, and I got all the room to do what I need to because I don't get no help from over there. Step back bucket. Understand how the floor is spaced, and if you got somebody in that strong side corner who they'll never help off from, or just because teams, when they play defense, they don't help strong side corners, you could leverage that corner as well. So that's a spacing hack you could use. Number one gem to start this. And now PG. This is a little. I also got gems in here. Not even when it's just isolation, like we just staring down and getting busy, but also just like little things like PG about to do right here. So notice this here. I'm about to look one time. If y'all trolling, it's GG. So Kyrie's gravity creates Luka's mismatches. And I also want y'all to understand how much Luka's going to leverage that later on. But they're always going to, it's not necessarily always Kyrie's gravity, but he's going to use Kyrie's gravity to his advantage as well, to where I could get into space because Kyrie's man is never going to help. They're not even going to dig. So, discipline is the cause of being afraid or eventually regretting. Regret is the fact of not caring. Is that a gem? I mean, there's multiple ways as to which you could perceive the word discipline. What I see it as is just being a disciple. What does it mean to be a disciple? To be one who's always in alignment with their goals, who's always in tune with their logos, with their highest level of self, and continuously on their pursuit, in their mission, living within their purpose, and doing so and acting according so with all their habits, with all their thoughts, all their deeds, and all their actions. So that's what I see it as. But now here, I want y'all to peep through with PG. That hurts. Notice this, right? Look, I don't even think some of y'all realize this, right? I don't think some of y'all realize that you could create space without needing to dribble, right? So notice this with PG, right? Watch this. Understand. You could simply create space without dribbling if you do this. But notice, since PG decided to catch with this split stance all the way inside the three-point line, when he brings that foot back, he's now created about 3 feet of space just for him to be able to go up into a shot. And so if you catch and take up room, you now have more room for yourself to now get open looks. I'm telling you, you're going to start cooking. I got some clips in here as well that's going to be in the part 2. I'm about to do some deceleration, like a decel workout, movement workout. Understand, like, especially when it comes down like those change of direction moves. That's gonna be the topic for the Patreon this week. So if you want to be in tune for that, make sure you go hit the top of the chat, join that Patreon, get that PG-13 tier so you can get all the vids, and we about to get locked in. Here too. This is a commonality you're gonna see a shit ton. You know, plays like this are no coincidence because it just makes the game easier for a Luka. It'll make it easier for you as well. So understand, Luka's got Amir Coffey. I got 2 to the left side and I got Kyrie on my right. Even though he has PG, doesn't matter because this help is going to be minimal in my drives, and I don't really got to worry about him because he's guarding Kyrie. So if you got teammates who have gravity themselves, utilize that for your own game so you can be able to get to your spots. And out here too, this split stance. That split stance is so underrated. I don't think y'all understand, right? Look, this is the most underrated position in basketball. That split stance right there. Because instead of being bilateral where your feet are right next to each other, that split stance, or being bilateral where your feet are next to each other, and then if you want to go, you want to be able to go and take a step forward, right? You would have to go and take a whole step forward. Being in this split stance, it allows you just to do this. Foot replacement. Instead of having to take a whole lunge, a whole stride for you to be able to get from A to B. And so he's just like 5 times quicker because he's using that foot replacement already being in a split stance. And now Kyrie here on the help, navigate, find space. He's laid, rotating over, boom, foul, and 1. Know what I'm saying? That split stance, vital. You need that split stance. Operate out that split stance. It's going to make you way quicker. You're going to get way more blow-bys. You're going to be able to actually get into a lane, make plays, whether you're going to get a bucket and be able to kick it out, put a lot more pressure on the defense. All right, let me peek chat right quick. I got a silent basketball for home now, even if my dad... You bugging. Chat no more. Chill out, bro. Chill out. I gotta say this, bro. Chill out. Chill out. You don't disturb the peace. Don't disturb the peace. You think Paul George and Ty playing the film room? What play? It might have been a little minute ago. This? You talking about probably this play here? Because that's the only PG play I had thus far. If anything, the movement, he probably didn't plan the movement, but that's what the movement did for him. I'll tell you that. That's what the movement did for him. He just caught and was like, oh shit, brought it back, all the space, shot. You know what I'm saying? So I'll say that for that one, if that's the play you're talking about. And then this one here as well. Like, oftentimes, this just boils down to spacing and finding space. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kyrie not really committed to Terrence Mann over here because they want him to shoot. Find a room here if you talk about this play, but I think it was the other one, though. Kyrie Wash. That's a crazy fucking question. That play. That Jones on the closeout. Or PJ Washington on the closeout. I'm pretty sure someone at PG's level, when he's going into shit, when he's like actually playing defense, he's recognizing this as he goes along. So like he's not just turning, just running aimlessly. He's turning and just reading their body. Because that's something you can do in any scenario, and they'll tell you what you should do according to what the offensive player does. And that's how you're able to stay a step ahead. So, average Will Chamberlain game. Oh, the closeout. Yeah, my closeout. I just talked about it. Take notes, get better. That's something everyone should do with the closeouts, though. Everyone should read closeouts, but not a lot of people do it. Not a lot of people do it. And a lot of people do this shit right here. Right? I really want you to pay attention to this. Look. right? Hey, Harden brings the ball up the floor, right? Watch Kleba. He picks up, but he picked up so damn high, he cooked himself. Because watch what happens. This whole time Harden walks down, he's playing defense going backwards. And you know what happens to defenders who only play going backwards, right? Who never play spots, who never actually try to beat someone to a spot. What happens? Harden, it's now perfect for Harden, right? This is now perfect for Harden to get into exactly what he wants, which is work you now more back to get into his step back, which is going back to his right side to that left-hand bucket. Tough. You know what I'm saying? If you pick up way too high, you're cooked. You're only going back. And he gonna get that step back. He gonna get that step back, bro. And that's why I don't get why players always pick up half court. You can pick up in front of that three-point line. You know what I'm saying? Meet them in a range where they're actually a threat. You know what I'm saying? Unless Harden, like, and we've seen, he's not gonna pull that shit from 40. He ain't gonna pull that shit from 40, so no need to pick him up that high. Good to do scissors and blow by a scissor cross. I think essentially, I think I know what you're talking about with the scissor cross, like the scissor step kind of, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. I'm pretty sure I do, but the split stance is always gonna help because you want to move in steps. If you're bilateral, you're gonna have to go in step. I'm not saying to never be bilateral, where you're like where your feet are next to each other, but you need to get better in that split stance and utilize it more often. Let me say that. Now Russ, hold on. Let's talk about Russ. Russ doesn't get enough credit, right? Notice this, right? Look at Russ. Hold on. We got to go from the top. We got to go 0.52. Look. We got to go 0.5. Look at Russ's head. He turns to that right side, and then he turns now to that left side. Why did Russ turn right and he turned left and just stay in the same spot? It's because what's going to happen next. And understanding that that's the two options that Kyrie has to initiate a pass for the offense. Russ is just going to stay in the same spot, wait till the pass is thrown, jump out on it, and end up getting a turnover because of it. If you understand what's going on behind you, it allows you to bring context to what's going on in front of you, and it's going to guide you to now what you should do. You got to understand all parts of the game. You know what I'm saying? A defender who doesn't know what's going on behind him is one of the most vulnerable players on the floor, which is why anytime there's no communication, you usually see that player at the top get cooked. Vital. You got to know what's going on. And by the way, don't just turn your head at any point in time. Turn your head before the person that you're about to guard before they aren't in attack range, where they're actually about to get into something. And now PG on this weak side. Overrated bricklayer. You get text. Stop hating on Russ. Russ be doing his thing. You be tripping. Russ be doing his thing. All right. Now peep this by PG though. Right. Look. Peep this. So notice, PG's in this corner guarding Josh Green, and it's the playoffs. We gonna let Josh Green shoot. And now when Kyrie gets here into this lane and decides to pass fake, PG not biting out on that bait. And that's going to allow PG to hold up Kyrie. And so when he jumps, he has to double clutch and gives chance for Mason Plumlee to get that block. When you don't get fooled by bait, it makes defense way easier. Can't get fooled by that bait. And now I even want you to peep this sequence as well over here. Peep the sequence is about to go on now, straight from this play. And so right off that block, Terrence Mann now gets down transition. Boom, kicks here out to PG, right? PG gets this. Boom, bucket. Mavs call a timeout. 30-14, you down 16. And I seen the Heat do the same shit last game. Game 2 against the Celtics, I had to play like this, where they called a timeout. And this is probably the best things you can do out of timeout, right? Hey, this for the coaches. Anytime as to which a team calls a timeout, you understand the fact that there's a ATO. There's going to be after timeout play. And so understanding that, how could you break that rhythm, prevent that team from being able to run what they wanted to and continue to keep them on the ropes and allow them to remain discombobulated? Full court press is the wave. I've seen the Heat do it, fool the Celtics with it. Clippers do it, fool the Mavs with it. So now what's going to happen is that you pick up full court, pressure on the ball. Terrence Mann does a great job poking that out. 16, you almost get an 8-second. And now they're like, oh shit, we got advantages. We got the numbers. But in reality, you really don't. You're actually cooked in the situation because you got Josh Green who comes down the lane, tries to make a play, and now you end up just getting a stop. You don't run that play, and that team is now still discombobulated. Got them all out of sorts. Got them all fucked up. And now this to a PG. Oh my gosh. Can't go zone 2. Zone's another way to do it. But that full court press really be fucking people up. That full court press be fucking people up. Zones have been a little more prevalent at times. How do I guard someone faster than me? Understand the amount of room you need to be able to beat into spots and playing with that room. If that's the one thing you want to take away, playing with that room, give them a late hand on their shots. Why do Luka and D'Lo risk half-court steals and not get back on defense in transition? They gamblers and they just want to try to make a hero play, probably. But look, I want to talk about this play right quick. Look, notice this. Notice this with PG. Notice this in PG. So notice, right? Watch PG cook right here. He got Josh Green, tween, boom, stop, bring back, double clutch on a shot, bucket. But please do not go in the gym and try to do the same shit PG just did, because that's going to fuck your whole game up, right? Whatever he did, do not try to go and incorporate that, especially being a high school player, being a player even in college, because you going to do that shit in the gym. You're never going to have the opportunity to do it in the game. And if you do, you probably going to brick it and you're going to be subbed out, because even the way as to which you tried to learn and build that skill, you did it the wrong way. Because PG, you got to understand. You got to understand when it comes down to just routine as a whole, right? What y'all see from PG in all these highlights, you try to replicate, you try to duplicate that. But in reality, you should never try to go in your workout and duplicate it, because these moves right here, these opportunities like this is literally just off of pure instinct and is a byproduct of PG gaining such a great level of balance and control within his body and his game, that, and also in all the nuanced skills, like being able to dilate, get focused on the rim, concentration, you know what I'm saying? You mix all that shit in, and then he does it here, boom, he's in a flow. He's not just going so chaotic and literally working on the same exact sequence of dribbles so that he could prepare for himself to use it in a game. He gets all the other little skills, the minor skills, and they come all together, and now it leads to a major skill, and he's able to get these buckets. A 2-for-1 as well. When will Patreon exclusive breakdown drop? I want to get a few more clips for, I want to talk about deceleration, foot positioning, and like leveraging angles when it comes down to using it in applicable situations. So it'll probably be like Wednesday or Friday. I may just drop it all at once like I may usually do. But I might have a full weight room workout, upper body workout dropping as well, like in the middle of this week at some point. So stay on the look for that. And if y'all want the part 2, the exclusive breakdowns of these breakdowns, make sure you go to the top of the chat, join the Patreon, so that you could be able to have organized workouts. You could have breakdowns that now talk about direct things you need to learn in the game. You could be able to contact me on a day-to-day basis. You could be able to have private one-on-one coaching. A lot of shit going on in there. And I'm about to start dropping some of the diet stuff, some of the routine stuff, the meditation, the mental aspect of things. So I'm about to be locked in when it comes down to that. So being able to hit a spot up 3. Exactly. K-Rock is on the horn, bro. People want to make that shot before they keep, bro. People want to hit a shot like this from PG and not even be able to hit like 3 spot up 3s in a row. Like if I told someone to take 3 swing 3s or like 10 swing 3s from one spot, right, coming from multiple directions, they probably would go like 5 for 10. You know what I'm saying? They can't even go 7 for 10, 8 for 10 consistently, man. Like it's just like, come on, bro. You got levels. You need to hit. Exactly. Highlights come just when you're in a rhythm. Highlights come when you just be in a rhythm. But here too with James Harden. I'll talk about this for a second when it comes down to isolation. So, depending on the type of defender you get, also could determine the type of demeanor you have when you enter these isolations. So, James Harden ends up getting Daniel Gafford. And he ends up doing this. He turns his back and just dribbles to the 3-point line, relaxed, just walking. He not doing that if he got a Drew Holiday. He not doing that if he got a Pat Bev. But with the Daniel Gafford, I now could tap into a new level of pace, right? I could drop my pace to a whole nother level of relaxation, so I could be able to set up the move that I want to use on this big, who is a little heavy set on his feet, not as quick, solid contest, but still can't stop me getting to my signature move. Got to utilize that pace and that demeanor. And now let me talk about this. Let me talk about this play right here. So notice, You got Luka on James Harden. That should be barbecue chicken. And now watch the Mavs defense. Kyrie loaded up. You got PJ Washington stepping inside out the paint 290. And so they did all that defense just for James Harden to get here. Boom, and get into the middle of the floor. Now, I can't lie. I could say, oh, look at Luka Doncic not playing no defense. He don't play no defense for that bullshit. What the fuck he doing? He in foul trouble. So he can't get that aggressive on that side of the ball. So he just kind of let James Harden go that way. You could have been a little more aggressive, but it's the second quarter. Foul trouble. You got it. You know what I'm saying? You got it. And that, mind you, that's a byproduct of him having that take foul early. Yo, what's good, Drizzy? What's good? Why don't the Clippers attack Luka, and why do you keep a weaker defender away from the play? I mean, the Clippers do attack Luka. James Harden was frying him. James Harden was frying him, man. Yeah, people force a highlight and get a low light. But I got to talk about defense right quick. Watch. I want y'all to notice PG, right? Peep this. So notice. Watch PG's body, right? Watch PG. Watch PG's body angle on this screen. When that screen comes up, watch how he gets over the screen. He now leads with that left shoulder. Notice. You got to really notice this. This is vital, right? Anytime you're trying to get over his screen. So, if you want to be able to get over screens, watch PG, right? He gets over by leading with that left shoulder because in doing so, he makes his body thinner so he can actually get over the screen and not run into the screen. And after he clears the screen, watch this left hand, right? Watch this left hand. He sits it in that pocket knowing that Zubac is already there on that hedge and he wants to get that to Lively on his roll. And so what does he get? A steal. Because he already knew what Kyrie's options were when he came off that screen, according to the type of coverage they had. Got to do your homework. You know what I'm saying? You got to know what you're doing as a defense, as a team. And it's going to make all the things you do on the ball be able to be logically anticipated and not just blatantly anticipated. Just doing some shit just because you want to try it. You about to say, indeed, we talk about getting over the screen. Also, peep this too. Harden cooking in this ISO. Read the help. So, I need y'all to also understand this. If y'all playing in isolation, another thing y'all got to focus on is reading the help. Not just the spacing, but the help. So, Harden's got Luka, right? Luka's trying to lead him to his right side. And what Harden is reading is Kyrie in the situation. So, with Kyrie having Terrence Mann and Terrence Mann not being established in spacing, Kyrie is also not established in spacing where he is as a defender. And so he's just waiting for Kyrie. Kyrie steps up. James Harden enters his go to the right side away from Kyrie where the double may come from. And so now Harden gets right, leads Luka down. He's in foul trouble, not trying to touch him. Gets into another step back. Cooking. And now Kyrie about to start cooking. This is where Kyrie's cookout begins to start. Kyrie's cookout. Do you like playoff physicality? I ain't gonna lie, I do. A lot of people be like, yo, you need to keep it consistent the whole time, but I fuck with at least it being there in the playoffs. What's your next breakdown? I don't know yet. But watch this with Kyrie. So, now Kyrie's about to tap into his ISO bag, right? And so these little things like that right there is going to set him up perfectly for later. So, watch, right? Kyrie bringing the ball up the floor. Raises his hand down. Tells Josh Green to go away. Because I'm going to get this drag screen from Derek Lively, right? But I just told Josh Green to go that way so I can have another option. Which is when I now get this screen, Terrence Mann jumps out. I could get to this right side, and since I sent Josh Green to that corner, Norman Powell deep on the help, I could get right to my spot, right at that elbow, before I even get into the help defender. And Norman Powell, who was guarding Josh Green, that I told to get to that corner. Open up the floor just because I know how I want the floor to be spaced. And now, peep this with Kyrie on this swing pass. This is tough. The triple threat game is a game y'all need to know. So, now Kyrie. Notice this with Kyrie. Kyrie gets this look off, right? PG, hand up, tough look, bucket, but he only got that because of one thing, right? Really notice. And so Kyrie gets his catch. Ball's in his midline, in front of his body. He got PG in front of him. But watch what Kyrie does with the ball. He brings it over to his hip. Because now with PG guarding, with his left hand being active, if I keep that ball in my midline, I'm going to get the ball stripped. And so I bring it to that left, so now I could bring it up to my pocket without worrying about the ball getting stripped. And I could shoot over the top and put a little more arc on my shot. You got to understand, the triple threat pockets, you're going to need them. And now, you seen those last 2 buckets from Kyrie? I'm not just going to keep playing in ISO. Heat check, pull up 3. Harden not trying to check that. Bucket, give me that. Quick 8 points right there. We getting back into the game. Quick 8 points. I also want y'all to notice how he's going to continuously layer. What he's about to do. He's going to continuously layer. So, let's get back to PG, though, because PG was cooking in this first half, too. He was cooking. So, when you play off the spot up, you can still also leverage this right here. Playing out that split stance. It's a lot different, right? A lot different. His feet are much closer together. But regardless, all he has to do is take a foot replacement to get himself into his drive. Now he gets into the paint. And this is the concept I really want to talk about when it comes down to this play. Watch PG once he gets this catch, right? PG gets this catch, 4 on the shot clock. You'll think PJ Washington knows, oh, let me get a hand up because we got very little time on the shot clock. But in reality, he gets a late hand. Why? And he got burned for it. Why? Because when PG decided to stare down, he kept the hand down. And now he gets up and that hand is late because the defender was reacting according to him and not the defender already trying to anticipate what he may do. So having that hand up just as a surety, just according to what the time is, he forgot about that just because the eyes were down. And now peep this here with Luka. Advice on building the triple threat game: learn how to hit a catch and shoot shot first. Because if you can't hit a shot, catch and shoot from a base, right? Just being in your base, going up into your shot, no dips, no nothing, you can't be able to play in the triple threat. So you got to get everything, every type of shot you will shoot will have the components of a catch and shoot shot, which is why you always got to master the catch and shoot shot before you try to move on to something else, before you try to move on to a step back, before you try to move on to triple threat, before you try to move on to a pull-up, a hezzy pull-up, anything, right? Because now you're adding variables onto that catch and shoot shot. So if you can't shoot off the catch and be able to sit there, hit 8 out of 10 comfortably, right? At least 7, 8 out of 10 consistently and comfortably, you need to go back and work on that catch and shoot shot. And then it's going to make everything else easier because you just laid a foundation for shooting. You know what I'm saying? It's everything you add on from that point is going to be much easier. So, now here with Luka. So notice, Luka got the ball, right? Notice what Luka's looking at, right? As he goes down, he's just scanning numbers. He's counting bodies. And what does he end up counting? Oh, shoot, they not matched up. Zubac pointed out to his left side. And now I kick over to Kyrie for him to get this step in. And when Kyrie shoots from this deep, you know he's cooking. You know he's flowing because he's not the person to shoot that shit from 30 feet. Got another bucket. And now notice how he's going to continue to layer, right? Getting down in transition. Remember what happened last time with Kyrie, right? He pulled up. Harden wasn't buying it. This time go around. A couple buckets later, playing in layers, hit him with a hezzy. Got him stopped dead in his tracks. Drop off to Derek Lively. We get a momentum in the second quarter. He cooking. And now this is something a lot of y'all can learn from with James Harden. A lot of y'all can learn from this play. So, look, a lot of y'all face this type of pressure in the full court. You got somebody who's trying to speed you up, right? And you decide to go so quick while you're still in the backcourt, thinking, oh, let me get past him right now. But you got to wait. Because as you wait, and if you wait, once you do get somewhere closer in range, you can now actually attack and make a play. And Harden now decides to go, and now he's in a range to where he could really make a play. And he's not just steamrolling all the way down from the other baseline. He's going once he is actually somewhere to where I could take 1 to 2 dribbles and I'm already comfortable. I'm already in attack mode. So now, boom, he gets here, gets into that mid, he gets that step back. Bucket. Vital. Y'all got to time your attacks properly. If you don't time them, you're going to go at the wrong time. Simple as that. If you don't time them, you're going to go at the wrong time. And this shit here is tough. PG was cooking. I ain't gonna lie, PG was cooking. I gotta put this in 0.5 because PG cooking. Zubac playing good defense on Luka. No cap, he do. Practice your jabs. Jabs you got to be super careful on because you can work on them, but there's so many nuances in a jab in order for it to work. And that comes down with any skill. So essentially, I can say the same thing when it comes down to a lot of stuff, but I would say do your research before learning a skill. Do your research. So I want y'all to notice this here too with PG when he gets into these size ups, right? This is where PG gets unguardable. PG got Derek Lively, double tween. Derek Lively hopped out to that middle. So subconsciously right now, Derek Lively's like, oh shit, I'm leaving him this whole baseline. I gotta go recover. So PG sets us up accordingly, hits that boom, crossover right there. And now I create all that space to be able to get to that left side and get that step back. That's tough, right? And he just got that off of being able to recognize movement, right? You gotta even understand this. Let me speed this up a little bit. The only reason PG is even able to recognize that and make the right moves always at the right time is because he's reading the movement of his defender. As they move one way, you know that, oh, they're going to want to go bite out on something that they know they left open. You know what I'm saying? Once you're able to recognize that movement, you're going to be able to get to these spots. And out here, too. This play is tough. There's a couple concepts in here that a lot of people don't really talk about. So understand here. And by the way, Russ is an underrated defender. Russ is a very underrated defender. But understand this when it comes down to this play with Kyrie. So Kyrie has Russ guarding him, right? And you know Russ, when he got his engine on, he's going. He's going quick. But when he got his engine turned off, then that's when he could get the first step. And so now Kyrie, he ends up just lulling him to sleep, basic size up, go. I got that first step on you. And now I turned on his engine. And at this point, since I turned him on, pause, I use that against him. And I end up getting the foul because he got in the air and was trying to make up for the gap that he gave me. Got to understand that. That's vital. And now Russ comes back. Yo, I don't hear nobody talking. He was literally on the island. Ain't nobody said shit. Maybe Norman Powell a little bit, but he just really don't know where his help is. You know, you got Luke on this left side, Terrence Mann helping a little bit, but Norman Powell most definitely could have been there and helped out a little more, especially with Derrick Jones Jr. not really finding his rhythm this far in the game. Gotta talk. And by the way, a player who's guarding the ball with no communication, one of the most vulnerable players on the floor. Pretty sure I said that earlier, but you got to really understand that concept. So, peep this as well. Let me get some water right quick, too. So, one of the special things when it comes to Kyrie is that even in situations where he does end up getting to where he wants to, rips right where Luka is, so now he has a little more space in that lane, is that even he does get blocked by Amir Coffey, who has the lane. His mind is still not turned off. He's still going to keep going. And he ends up getting the ball right back, spin, turnaround. Forgot about that last shot like it didn't even happen. And he's moving on to the next shot. And now, boom, fade away from that mid-range bucket. You got to continuously move on to the next play regardless of what already happened. Because the past is the past. And the present is the only thing you can control. So you better move on to it before you get left. That's a gem right there. Low key. And now isolation as well. This is another concept with isolation that y'all got to really understand. So, anytime you play in isolation, that doesn't mean you have to be the one to go and score and you have to shoot at any opportunity you have. Because watch PG. Sizing up Derrick Jones Jr., he ends up getting this step back. Off balance, I'm not going to even try to shoot that. I'm not going to step through and try to shoot it. I'm going to give it up, and I'm going to go get it back to then I can now pull in 3 defenders and now kick out to Terrence Mann in the corner for open 3. Get that give and go into your game. You need that give and go. Make it a habit instead of trying to force up threes and take step-through shots. And out here too. I hate to see one of these teams go home in the first round. Hey, somebody gotta go home, man. Somebody gotta go home. Goldfish memory. Goldfish memory is crazy. Goldfish memory is crazy. So now you got Kyrie coming off this screen, and he gets his matchup. James Harden. And you should already know where he gonna go, because we've been talking about spacing for a good bit of time, right? And so who does Kyrie have to his right? PJ Washington, Terrence Mann. But who does he have to his left? Luka Doncic with Zubac. And not only is it a strong side corner, but it's also Luka Doncic. So I'm going to have an easy lane going to that side. Because Harden as a defender, minimal resistance. It's the truth. It's just minimal resistance. At times. He do be guarding every now and then. Forget about Denver. Forget about Denver. This should be the Western Conference Finals. We blessed with this matchup. We got blessed with this matchup. But corners. Notice this with corners. So, anytime y'all make a drive going to the baseline, on the first dribble that you take is when you should read this corner. And on that first dribble, it'll indicate whether they're actually helping, like Kyrie is now, or they're just going to bait and stunt. And if you see that full commitment, swing it over immediately. Don't waste no time. Don't take a second dribble. Swing it. Don't keep it for yourself. Swing it. Regardless if you got the mismatch or whatever. Swing it. And they about to play in layers too. So, you just seen the Clippers the last play run the same play. And now PG gets it again. Screen here by Coffee. Right? But now he gets to switch with Luka. Luka in foul trouble. And so now what ends up occurring? Watch Luka, right? Actually, let me go back right quick. Notice, when he switches out, watch Luka. Watch his right hand. Load up help to this side. Load up help going to PG's left to my right. Load up help. But by you calling for that help, you got to lead him to that help. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand. If you're going to call for help, you got to at least lead him to the help and prevent him from being able to turn that corner. And he allows PG to turn that corner, and he just ends up getting to the paint, drop off to Zubac. And Zubac ends up getting there. And he throws his hands up, but you can't let him turn that corner if you want to force him to his left. You know what I'm saying? You got to force him there as well. And so once again, same play once again. You already know what's about to happen. They may switch up the coverage though. And this is where PG, even in the game where he isolated crazy, right? You seen him already get all those isolation buckets. Is that third quarter he pushing 30 in terms of points. He now just has to pass. He has to become that playmaker instead of being the one to always get the bucket. So 3 straight plays making the right play, despite the fact he's not scoring. Now he gets doubled, behind the back kick to Amir Coffee, and he just does what he usually does when he gets the ball off the catch. Quick 2 dribble pull up somewhere around the middle of the floor, gets the bucket. He knows his spots, which is also vital for the people off the ball. And out here, Pete this as well. Kyrie. A lot of people really do forget about this in today's game. Modern basketball has forgotten about this. Kyrie gets this catch wide open. He pump fakes and nobody's not even 15 feet from him. And so he ends up getting to an attack just so he could get into the paint, drop it off, and get a 2 that leads to an and 1. Quality over quantity. He's not being stingy. He's not settling. He's getting the highest quality look possible. And he's not playing into statistics. And it's those players who ignore those statistics in terms of 3s are better than 2s that are actually able to be high-level playoff players, which is why I think the Boston Celtics are not going to win the chip because they still shoot way too many 3s, and you can't win a chip shooting all those damn 3s, bro. You can't try to use those modern numbers to win a chip nowadays, man. It's those ones who just keep true to the fundamentals. And now off of offensive rebound, Kyrie again. Kyrie's low-key cooking. So peep this. Off this brick by Derrick Jones Jr., watch. They end up getting the offensive rebound. Notice Kyrie's pace right here, right? Notice his pace. He just jogs up to his wing, and then once he gets in front of Amir Coffee, now he begins to sprint out and get into this handoff. And by doing so, he doesn't alert Amir Coffee, doesn't alert PG, and now he gets an open 3 right here from that left wing and gets his bucket. When you utilize pace, you prevent people from being alerted. When you prevent people from being alerted, you will be able to get that step, whether it's on the ball, you're dribbling, or you're off the ball in your movement. So that's something y'all got to add as well, utilizing that pace. And this right here is also pace. This here is also pace. PG Loki cooked him with this. So notice, PG being in transition, you will think I got to go my full speed because we're on a fast break. But what PG does here, slows down, forces Kleber to jump early, and causes Derek Lively to now slow down his strides. And now he can't even time his block by Kleber, and Lively can't from behind. And now he ends up getting a foul and one high off the glass with the left, just from changing that pace in transition. A lot of y'all don't even change pace in the half court when you're running a set. Now imagine in transition when you already got players moving at such a high speed and you change it there. You could at least got to start somewhere when it comes down to it. So at least got to start somewhere. And now this is where you actually learn how to not just have an isolation, have a mismatch, have a one-on-one situation, but not be reliant upon it at every single time. So in the fourth quarter at this point, you still got Luka Doncic who's in foul trouble. 4 fouls. Right there, screen got James Harden now. And notice what Russ does. He ends up leaving. Harden doesn't enter his attack because he knows they're going to throw something at him, and that's Kyrie who's about to come at him. Now watch Russ. He circles back up to the ball so he could get this catch, and now what do you got? A 2-on-1 situation, lob right there to Plumlee. Boom, get that too. Right? So understand, these one-on-one situations, these off-ball players are just as vital because you can't go one-on-one every single time. Right? You can't. It's just not going to be possible. So now notice what happens. Now you got James Harden again. They willfully switch Luka back onto him. And now notice what ends up occurring. Right? Notice what occurs. Watch Mason Plumlee. Right? Watch Mason Plumlee. This is some shit I ain't never see a big do. Right? Because Mason Plumlee, he runs up. And now you're thinking you're going to get a ball screen when you see someone sprint up. But he sprints up into a flare screen. And that gives no time for PJ Washington to communicate to Kyrie. And he just swings that over to Norman Powell for that 3 on that right wing. Right? And he ain't just do it once. He's about to do it a second time, but in a different way. This is manipulative for Mason Plumlee. I don't know who said to do this, but they cooking with it. And so now notice what's going to happen on this play. Harden with Luka again. And now you got Mason Plumlee over here on this baseline. And he's going to run and sprint up. But where is he going to set the screen? He ain't going to go on the ball. He's going to curl this and set a pin down. And now you got no time to communicate that to Derrick Jones Jr. So what happens? You end up getting 2 on the ball, PJ Washington and Derrick Jones Jr., when that should have just been a switch. And now what occurs on this weak side is not even so much about what happened at the top of the ball. It's what happens here. Because you got Kleber who can step in, but now you don't know. Kyrie cannot drop down. Kyrie doesn't even know what happened on that right side to where they got 2 on the ball from a sprint up into a pin down. And now they end up getting this 2 right here by Russ. Kyrie's late on that drop. Boom, they get another 2. Those off-ball players, I'm trying to tell y'all, are just as important as the ones who are on the ball. And if you're on the ball, always thinking about me, that's when you're going to lose. L. You're not going to win no games if you think you could play one-on-one every single time. So don't get deceived by the title. Don't get deceived by that. And understand, if you want to win on 5-on-5 settings, you must utilize everybody in the 5-on-5 setting. Whoever is on your team and the people you're even going against. It's vital. You got to understand that. And now here with Kyrie. This is another gem when it comes down to driving. A lot of people do struggle when it comes down to driving, especially through corners and reading help. So notice this with Kyrie. Anytime you decide to end up going to drive and you're attacking a strong side corner defender, you need these 2 things. First things first, you need this here. Watch Kyrie's feet. You need sharp angles. That's going to take you directly to the rim. Second thing that you also need to make sure that you have a good pickup so that you could be able to get through defenders who are probably going to bait you and are trying to just close up the gap and get that ball thrown back out to the corner. You need sharp angles and you need good pickups. And you need those 2 things so you can be able to get to where you need to. And now, boom, got that lay right there on Mason Plumlee. Here too with Kyrie. These plays, bro. I know y'all probably seen this shit. That shit is tough. I'm not even gonna play that shit full through because I got to say what I need to say. But notice this as well, right? Look at this move by Kyrie. Y'all probably like, yo, boom, what? Pump fake, step through, shot. Hey, that's tough. And you're probably gonna go work on it. But I repeat, do not go work on this shot. Do not try to go in the gym and rep this shit out 50 times because more likely than not, you don't even have the body control to be able to shoot this shot stably at game speed because you can't even shoot a catch and shoot shot at game speed. If you struggle shooting a shot off the catch and be in control, what makes you think you could shoot a shot like that and be in control in a game? All because you could do it in a workout where you can control your entire pace doesn't mean you could do it in a game. These are two different things, two different lanes. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand, if you even want to be able to get somewhat close to that skill and build to it someday, you got to start at the fundamentals. Every single time, you got to start at the fundamentals. Slow this back down. And let me say this about the pickups too right quick. Let me say this as well. Usually what it's just going to be is a low rip through and a cuff. Honestly, that's really all you need. I'm going to keep it a bean. Low rip through and a cuff. Learn how to use a low rip through, get into a jump off 1 or get to a stop off 2. Learn how to cuff and get to go off 1 and also go off 2. Right? And also, like I said, off 2. The off 2 portion is extremely important. Because if you're going and you always have a habit of picking up and going off 1, you're gonna now get stuck whether if you don't have that layup at the rim. So if you don't got that lay, you're gonna be oh shit, try to pass it out and you can't do anything. Which is why you gotta make sure you can also stop off 2. Right? Whether you get into a pickup, finish off 2, get a pickup, stop off 2, and pump fake, you gotta just get that into your habits if you even wanna be able to utilize a pickup properly. And that's where a lot of people fuck up. They'll have the pickups, but they don't have the footwork so then they could be able to get themselves out of bad situations. And out here too, this is a vital play. Look, this is probably the most important play for the Clippers for the rest of this game because that right there gave Luka Doncic 5 fouls. And now with that 5 fouls, James Harden is about to have a floater frenzy. About to have a floater frenzy. He about to start going crazy. Watch what happens. You got James Harden with Luka. And now why do I say a floater frenzy? Because at this point, Luka is practically a drill cone. He's not going to try to be aggressive. He's not going to try to beat you to a spot because that's going to leave him susceptible to getting a foul. And getting a foul with 5 minutes left in the game, I don't want to foul out and leave Kyrie by himself because that's practically just handing us this L. So now what happens, right? Anytime Harden's going to make a move on this go, seeking contact, Luka, he don't want contact. He now gets to stop, create space, but watch this next move. Trying to attack that top foot, seeking contact, Luka don't want that contact. And once he get past Luka, he needs that float because he's not going to be able to finish at the rim when there's also help defenders down there waiting for him. Watch how he's about to cook off this going forward. And then we also got to throw in some Kyrie buckets in here. Got to throw in some Kyrie bucks. But honestly, this is so tough. This is probably like one of the most overlooked plays in the game because it wasn't something super pretty, but it was just like when you really look at what he did, it was like, yo, that's just tough. The amount of balance and control he needed to knock down this shot right here is ridiculous, right? So understand, Kyrie gets right off the screen and watch his feet. That stop right there was literally in line perfectly with his strides. And now when he goes up, PG can't even jump and anticipate the contest because that shit was perfectly in stride. And so he has a clean look, how to control his body off the glass, off touch, and gets the bucket. That's a tough bucket. That's a tough bucket. If there's anything that's what you could see throughout the game, it was like, yo, how the fuck that shit happened? That was one of those plays. And it's like, lo, let me go try that. Good luck, man. Good luck. Because to disassociate the body speed and the control and the decel with the touch, that's a tough thing to do. That's an insanely tough thing to do. And so remember what I said, though. Look, Harden with Luka again. He's got a floater frenzy. And you got him turning his head. Oh, you're already scared of guard. You already don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to occur. But I can tell you this, is that when I now decide to get here into my size ups and get into my goals, you're not going to want to try to stop me. Because you got five fouls. And so now, why is this a floater frenzy? Let me go back to that concept. It's because I know I'm going to get past Luka, but then help is going to step up, right? And now I got to turn this down. Boom, let's go back. Help is going to step up every time. And so I can't finish at the rim. I got to get this floater, dominant hand, strong hand every time. And this is also going to show you, you don't need a strong hand floater as well. Watch, every single float Harden going to get is going to come from that same hand. And out here too, hold on, Kleber. Oh, I got to show this. I don't think a lot of y'all seen this. This showed me a lot. Look, hey, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, watch Kleber. Luka has 5 fouls right now. He tells Luka to go guard PG. What the fuck you think you is telling me to go guard? Nigga, get your ass up. And that alone showed me your mentality as a defender. Because now you got to go and step up and guard James Harden. I already know you cook because you don't even want to guard. You want to sacrifice the number 1 player on our team just for you to not to go into the light and guard James? All right, you about to get cooked. You a drill cone too. And as a guard, need that float game because help stepping over. Strong can going to the right on the right side of the floor. He's scared to guard. He's scared to guard. He ain't want to guard shit. I was like, hey, Cleve, I don't know what you think. I don't know if you ready for this, you built for this, but he said, yo, Luka, you got it. He tried to throw him literally into the fire, bro. At that point, if I'm Luka, I'm second guessing that and be like, yo, get this nigga out the game, bro. What the fuck going on? You don't want to do shit? Trying to throw me under the bus. That shot right there is tough as shit by Kyrie. Notice this, right? Look. You got 4 seconds on the shot clock in time. And Kyrie shoots that right there and PG gave no hand. Why the fuck did PG not give a hand? It'd be some of the most littlest shit. That could stop a defender from contesting your shot. So really understand this, right? You got 4 seconds in counting on the shot clock. PG closes out knowing the fact of that there's minimal time. But Kyrie shoots, he sees no hand. Why did Kyrie see no hand? Watch what Kyrie does when he gets this catch, right? I'm trying to tell y'all, if you want to get open shots, do this, right? When Kyrie catches, he stares down instead of staring directly at the rim. And by staring down, he keeps the hand down. And PG over here twitching. Bucket. I'm telling you, if you just literally look down sometimes, it'll keep the hand from getting high and beating you to that release. And if you can shoot through a late contest, this is going to be golden for you. Remember that quote you said last stream, reflecting correct? I'm getting it tatted on my right wrist. Bro, I'm telling you, it just be some gems I'd be dropping, bro. It'd be some gems. You know what I'm saying? I've never even thought about before that stream. I've never even probably even thought of that. I was just like, oh shit, reflecting correct. This shit tough. Yo, what's good? Satro was good. 2K plug grenade, indeed. But hey, he know how to handle the grenade though. He fuck with a grenade. And now this right here too. This play is tough. So I want y'all to peep this with Kyrie in this attack, right? Notice. When Kyrie has the ball right now, he already knows he's going left. Because he's got Luka Doncic with Paul George who's going to play no help. And I got Derrick Jones on that right side. I'm going to go left. And now when Kyrie makes his tween, all he was waiting for was the cut. Notice, right? When Kyrie makes his go, all he's waiting for is Amir Coffey. And the second he turns his back, I hit that tween. And he turns back around to recognize I'm driving. What do? I slow down for a second. And watch what Coffey does. He now ends up clearing out. All for me to get to the rim and see 3 hands instead of 4. That shit's tough. Kyrie different. Look at the angles on this. Shows it here, brings it back there, brings it to that left side, brings it back under, finds a way to get that shit high. Like, bro, what the fuck type of body control is that? And this play alone showed me dunking is overrated, bro. I'd rather have a crazy leg package because not only the knee impact, the impact from the force of jumping and dunking every single time, but if I have a versatile leg package, the byproduct of having that leg package is body control. Body control will now transfer over to multiple skills within basketball, which is things like dribbling and movement, which is things like navigating and just anything in terms the whole game, because there's movement all around. And so if you pick up the skills necessary to be a good finisher, it's going to transfer over to some other sort of skill. So that's tough. How tall am I? About 6'1". If I'm in game, probably shoes, maybe like 6'2". But this is funny as well. This play is hilarious because PG hit the toughest shot. Y'all probably already seen it, but he butchered the ATO, or like he slipped up on it. Like he had a golden opportunity, but ain't capitalized on that first look. But regardless, peep this though. So I want y'all to understand, PG right here, ATO, lob pass should have been an easy two. Ball slipped out his hands. He got butterfingers. And understand, you already know what type of shot's about to happen, but you don't understand this about the shot. Because when PG ends up getting out the corner and now facing up, his options are, if I go to the rim, I will see Derrick Jones Jr., who's already playing good defense, who's going to be on my side, and Kleba with maybe about 5 seconds on the shot clock, and I'll have to get around to this corner and throw it there. Or I could just find a way to get some space in this corner and get into the step back and get into a shot. He's not just shooting that out of bullshit. It was just the best option available with the amount of time that was allocated. Y'all got to understand, a lot of people going to try to be like, yo, let me work on this cross step shot. Live? Yeah, this is live Polish. We live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Dropping gems. Breakdowns, all that stuff. So, always dropping gems. But peep this. Peep this one out with James Harden. So, mind you, it's not like Harden was only cooking when he had Luka on him. It don't matter who you put on him because James could really still score. And notice this right now, right? They try to get Luka into the action. I'll just take PJ Washington. Takes that step up, playing the spot, boom. Remember what I told y'all about the split stance, right? That split stance is vital. Where Harden has really made his mark in isolations is being able to play out of this position right here, right? This split stance to where he just got a foot replacement, boom, drop and get by you. And even here, little contact, change of pace, float going to the right with the left and one shows you don't need a strong can or offhand float. You just could use a strong hand float. And if you need the offhand at some point, if you're scoring like at a Kyrie level or Kobe level, then you may have to get it. But you really don't need it for a vast majority of hoopers. And so now after cooking PJ Washington that one way that first time, all right, let's see what's going to happen now. PJ Washington knows I got blown by to my left side, Harden's right side last time. So watch PJ Washington's feet. Watch what he does. He's now already anticipating that. In doing so, Harden remains paced and now takes that step, gets outside that foot of PJ Washington, and now he's able to attack that top foot, get in there, another floater. This is a floater frenzy. And so this week in the Patreon, what we're going to be working on is that foot replacements like you just seen right there, that deceleration from a weight room perspective, a strength perspective, and then also learning how to get that float as a guard. 2 skills for this week. So if you want to see the part 2 for this breakdown where I'm going to go in detail on the skills even more, and if you want to see how you could be able to build your floater so that once you get by your defender, you see this help step over and you need to get some shit off, I'm going to have a workout on that. So if you want to get that, make sure you hit the top of the chat, join the Patreon, or you hit the top of the description and join the Patreon. And also, that's the end of this breakdown. So make sure that y'all subscribe and you got the notifications on, you like the video, and most importantly that you do you sacrifice your present self and invest into your future self and do everything you need to do to get to where you're here to be. So discipline or regret, you choose.